A mysterious suitcase found at an abandoned farm raises disturbing questions, sparking an investigation that uncovers a dark truth.
If I was the parents, I would want to know my daughter too. If my daughter's missing or whatever, I would want to know too.
Okay. Why do you think there's a daughter?
This is Inside the Crime, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner. Detectives immediately knew they were looking at a homicide case. A woman's body just doesn't end up stuffed in a suitcase. Then they learned she was missing for months and holding on to a secret that might have gotten her killed. It's October 14th of 2020. We're in Chippewa County, Wisconsin, which is a little more than an hour and a half away from Minneapolis, Minnesota. In a rural area on an abandoned farm, a woman learned something disturbing was hidden inside a purple suitcase.
Bernie told me that he found a body.
Bernie did?
Yeah.
Who's Bernie?
Dude, that from the house, Bernard, whatever the fuck.
Bernard?
His name. I don't know his last name.
Okay.
He told me that I was a little kid and he had a suitcase chopped up or some shit. I told him to call the cops, but he wouldn't do it. He was scared to or something. I don't know why he wouldn't just go to the cops.
Right.
We went there, it was right down the street from 29 Vines, right by Plan Marketing.
Yep.
I was driving down there and he told me where to go. I was driving back and it was right next to the pole shed. It was like one of the last corners in this driveway. And there's just this purple suitcase sitting there in the middle of nowhere, basically. It was just out of place. It didn't belong there.
Right.
Like, it looked like it was covered in blood. Like dark brown, old blood.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just drove right past it in the driveway part, went up, turned around. And then we left. He wanted to get out because he said he had to go to the bathroom and take a piss, but I screamed at him. Like, I just wanted to get out of there. That whole place was just creepy.
Right, I bet it was.
He told me it was like underground tunnels and the sheds and shit. I don't know.
When did this happen?
We went there like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, probably?
Yeah, I think he found it like a week prior to that.
And he told you he found it a week prior. Is that what you said?
Yeah. He said it was just...
So did he say how he found it?
He said he knows the farmer that farms the land there, and he just goes around and was stealing stuff out of the pole sheds.
Okay.
He was just walking back there, and he noticed it was out of place, just like I said it was. Like, didn't belong there. His curiosity piqued, and he went up to it and like kicked it over.
Yeah.
And then he unzipped the suitcase and he pulled it back and he saw a little bit of hair. It was, I don't know, he said like the body was decomposing.
Mackenzie's suspicions seemed correct, that the body had been there for quite some time. For a while, little was known about the victim, but officials confirmed it was a homicide case. Here's what was known at the time. The Jane Doe, as we'll call her, had long black hair. She was also wearing black stretch pants and a black t-shirt that reportedly said Sprecker's Restaurant and Pub on the front, but still no positive identification. The following week, an unidentified persons case reportedly revealed the victim's name as possibly Rosaly. No middle or last name was listed, though, nor did the report list any estimated age, height, weight, or race. So detectives still had very little to go off of. According to a 2020 news report by WEAU, the Wisconsin Department of Justice Clearinghouse for Missing and Exploited Children and Adults listed a Rosaly Chavarria Rodriguez as missing. Could that Rosaly be the Jane Doe? Well, investigators said it was too early to tell if there was a connection. So it seems it was back to square one. October 20th, 2020, investigators get a lead that brings them to the Chippewa County Jail to speak with an inmate who's there on a probation violation.
So, while you were with Bernie doing carpet or whatever, is there anything that would be very unusual or something that you may want to bring up to me?
This one time I was at his house, and he came home. I don't know. He mentioned something weird about finding a body. I wasn't sure if it's real or not, but the way his face reacted and everything, I thought it was real. But then I just told him, if you did find a body or something, I would suggest you tell somebody, because if I was their parents, I would want to know if I had a kid who was somewhere, and I would want to know, because if somebody finds it, I would want to know and get a proper burial for them. And that's really all I said.
What did Bernie say?
He said like he went. He said he went to an abandoned area. Went to this abandoned area, and then he saw the suitcase, and he opened it, and that's what he found. And he scared reported because like he opened it and his print is on it, so he don't know what to do. So I'm like, if you really didn't do it, you should at least report it.
Okay.
That's why I would talk about that subject.
Did you, did he say anything about, or I guess I should ask the question, when did you recall him saying this?
It was about like, probably a little more than a week ago, probably close to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How many times has somebody told you they found a body before?
It was one time.
Okay, all right.
But
So, go ahead.
But I was really, I really didn't want to, be involved. I really don't want to have anything to do with it, because I'm scared myself too, because I've never heard of such thing before. But I was telling him to report if it's real. If it's real, it's report it. I want to go see it. I don't want to go near it. I want to have anything to do with it. That's all I said.
Okay. Have you heard of anything in the news or anything? Okay. So, when Bernie tells you this, you kind of say, hey, do what you need to do, call the police, whatever. Did Bernie ever, you said it was abandoned?
Yeah, he mentioned something about like the place is abandoned.
So we're just kind of following up on some rumors. And some of the rumors, we want to clarify whether it's fact or fiction, so to speak. And so one of the rumors was possibly you and Bernie were on an abandoned farm and you may have discovered a suitcase.
Oh no, I've never been on the farm, never discovered any suitcase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if there was such a suitcase or something like Bernie explained to you, and there is further testing and things like that, your DNA or fingerprints or nothing would be on anything, correct? Okay. Because if you did, this would be the time to tell us.
Yeah, I've never been to a farm. I've never seen any. I've never seen anything. I've never seen the suitcase that he mentioned before. Yeah, he told me that when the same time he told Jen, like his ex-girlfriend or something, Jen at his house.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never.
Who was present when you told him that?
Jen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know her last name?
I don't know, but it's like his ex-girlfriend or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and Jen and Bernie were together?
Yeah.
What did Jen think about it?
Jen was going great. Jen said you should tell him. You should tell him.
Okay.
You should tell the cop. I told him the same thing too. If someone's family, and if I was the parents, I would want to know my daughter too. If my daughter's missing or whatever, I would want to know too.
Okay. Why do you think there's a daughter?
Huh? Cause he said, cause he told me like, he think it's a little girl. Cause he said, he looked at it and the size of the pelvis or whatever. You know, he gave me some details about it.
Tell me about those details.
He just said he think it's a little girl, and like, you know, he look at the size of the pelvis, about this big or whatever, so it's a little girl, he think.
Okay.
But
He's pretty definite that he's seen a body.
yeah.
Okay.
And like, I don't know, I told him like, I don't know, I don't want to go near that, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, if there's a body there, I don't want to go near them.
Investigators confirmed he had nothing to do with the murder. Then days turned into weeks, which turned into months, and the victim still wasn't identified. Then on September 29th of 2021, nearly a year after the remains were found, it was confirmed the body was of Rosaly Cindy Chavarria Rodriguez, the same woman who was reported missing back in July of 2020. The DNA profiles were sent to a crime lab in Texas, and those profiles matched Rosaly. According to reports, Rosaly was 24 years old, just moved from Peru, and pregnant at the time of her disappearance. So then more questions surfaced, including one of the biggest ones. Who was the baby's father? Detectives learned Rosaly had a boyfriend at the time of her disappearance, a man named Jose Eduardo Dominguez Garcia. A warrant was issued for his arrest on December 15th of 2021, but he was nowhere to be found. So once again, days turned into weeks, which turned into months. Then on November 23rd of 2023, officers pull over an unsuspecting driver for being in a vehicle with stolen plates, hundreds of miles away in Missouri.
6-1, check a VIN.
So you say you bought it from him?
What?
With the plate on it or without the Three weeks ago? Yeah. Do you have a title for it?
No, I think he said he will give me the title, but
So you bought it from him without any paperwork whatsoever?
he said he's gonna give it to me. Something happened?
Yes, so the plate's stolen, like he said. The plate that's on this vehicle is stolen.
Oh, okay
No
then.
one, October 24th.
So that's the only reason why we're contacting you, is because those plates came back stolen. Do you have any paperwork on the car?
No, I don't have no paperwork. at all.
Okay. When did you get the car?
Like
You found a
two,
driver's license?
No.
When did you get it?
like 2 or 3
It has
weeks.
social, but
Okay.
it doesn't match the name of the ID.
Do you have a Missouri driver's license?
No, I don't have nothing.
Okay.
I think we'll do that.
I can step out if you guys want to.
You're good.
It's got 3 different names.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What's your first and last name?
Miguel Torres Beltran.
Miguel?
Miguel Torres Beltran.
Officials later confirmed that wasn't his real name. His real name was Jose Eduardo Dominguez Garcia.
I'm gonna get arrested.
We don't know yet.
I just wanna be. If you guys gonna arrest me, then arrest me. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. And
Well, like we just told you, man, you're in possession of a vehicle with stolen plates. Have you been drinking tonight?
no, this is. You can check me if you want to. I have that from last night. But I work 2 jobs and I can like most of the time busy.
I don't smell anything from his breath. Do me a favor, man. Go ahead and step out. I'm just going to detain you for now, okay?
Huh?
I'm just going to detain you for now, okay?
Detain you. What does that mean?
I'm going to put you in handcuffs. You're not under arrest yet, okay?
Just before you arrest me, can I call someone real quick?
Yeah, we can get you a phone call in a second, okay?
Go ahead.
Can you go ahead and have your county or Tim City respond as well?
Copy, and can you copy information on that party you just ran?
Do you have any weapons I could poke?
I believe it's out of Wisconsin. That name that he provided is showing as an
I'm
alias
just detaining him for now.
on a
Do you have any weapons on you?
No.
full restriction,
Alright, I'm
first
gonna
degree,
pat you down really quick, okay?
intentional homicide. Looks like for an unborn child hiding a corpse.
Can you
Can you find us an ON photo for that party?
Copy.
And this is just your phone. Alright. I'm gonna put you in the car, okay? Like I said, you're just being detained, okay?
Okay. So I'm going to jail?
No, you're just being detained. Just have a seat in here, okay?
But can I make a call real quick?
Not right now.
It looks like
Jose was charged with first-degree intentional homicide of an unborn child, plus hiding a corpse. He was held at the Clay County Detention Center in Missouri before being extradited back to Wisconsin. The case would never make its way in front of a jury. On January 8th of 2025, Jose entered a plea of no contest to first-degree intentional homicide. By May 2nd of the same year, he appeared again in a Chippewa County courtroom to learn his sentence, but not before prosecutors detailed more of the facts of the case, including the manner of death.
Here we have 2 lives lost. We don't just have the one life. We have a mother and her unborn child. Both of those individuals lost their lives at the hands of the defendant. There isn't any worse thing that can happen to someone other than their life being taken from them. And obviously losing an unborn child at the hands of someone else is very devastating as well. When I look at the character of the defendant, I think too often we look at it and try and define the defendant's character by their criminal history and what the compass tells us. That somehow is the end all of someone's character, is their criminal history and what the compass tells us. This is a situation where I don't think shows the true character of the defendant within that. We have a situation here where the defendant didn't try and help the victim. There was no indication that any aid was provided to the victim or any sort of medical care or anything was done to ensure that all options were taken to make sure that the victim could be treated as opposed to just disposed of like was mentioned. I mean, everyone talks about, the victims talk about the disposal of the body. That's truly what we have here, is the defendant having this incident occurring, abandoning essentially the body in the parking lot for a period of time, eventually getting a suitcase, and then driving all the way from the Dells area all the way up here, finding an abandoned farm, and then disposing of the body there. I think that shows his true character. And probably nothing shows his true character more than the fact that he blames the victim. Essentially, he says, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, that had the victim just left him alone, he wouldn't have had to put his hand around her throat and she'd still be alive. So essentially, he blames her for what happened in this particular situation.
Jose said very little right before the judge handed down his sentence.
I would love to speak to the court about it, and I read the statements from the family, and I paid attention to everything, and I want to tell the mother of Rosaly that everything happened on July 2nd at 10:30 p.m. I know that words will not change anything. It doesn't matter what I say, they will not change their opinion, but I'm here and I will accept punishment. And I really feel bad for the family. I want to tell them that I feel so sorry, and I think that's all. What can I say?
And despite the defense's push for a lighter sentence, the judge had the final word.
The crime was indescribable. And the ramifications of that crime are, of course, being felt yet today, almost 5 years after the fact. And it'll be affecting everybody going forward for a lifetime. Your daughter, Rosaly's daughter. I've got to consider your characteristics. Again, we're 5 years, almost 5 years after the fact, I think the fact that you were on the run for 4 years speaks volumes about your character. Confinement is necessary, everybody agrees with that. Correctional treatment in custody, I'd like to think anger management would be appropriate. And as I've got to address this, but it's just in passing, even consider probation unduly depreciates the seriousness of this offense. I read through these things, folks, the victim impact statements, and I understand dad and sister's concern. How do you tell a 9-year-old her mother was murdered? How do you tell a 9-year-old her mom's not coming back? I don't have an answer for that. But Mr. Domingo Garcia, I think that the appropriate sentence here is 40 years in the system, 25 in, 15 out.
Jose Eduardo Dominguez Garcia is serving his 25-year prison sentence within the Wisconsin Department of Corrections. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner.